So I'm going to go over all the cams, trips, one-ways, and general smokes that are really good on A site and Ascent for both attackers and defense. So a very strong attacking cam to start is this one here. You're going to get up here, you're going to have your team clear this angle if needed. Then you're going to line up with a little dot on this box here. And this works on low resolution as well. So what I'm doing is aiming my camera all the way down and then lining up with this little dot here. Okay, then I'm going to bring my cam out. It's all about the lineup of the HUD. You want to roughly sandwich this. You'll know you did it right if you jump and the camera stays blue the entire time. So at the apex of your jump, you place the cam, and then you can see into sight here. Okay, next cam, we're going to look at either offensive cams if you're going to play like hell or somewhere hidden, or just kind of defensive cams. The common one is along this line here. You want to get it as high as possible because then it's hard to shoot. This one sees into A main and there. If you don't want it to be destroyable from A main, you just put it slightly further up. Somewhere like there. You can still see, but you can't see into A main anymore. This one is very difficult to spot, but doesn't see as much on site. It's behind this thing here, that's why it's difficult to spot. You can see A main and down here. Actually, apparently hard to pick up this cam. Next one, you have to jump onto Gen like I just did. You're gonna place it up there. If I can do this correctly here. There we go. Just slightly higher up, sees all of sight. You can see Gen there. Nice retake cam or defensive cam if you're playing hell. That's it for cams. Let's move on to trips. So we've got these two here, very easy. You just put them on the boxes. This is nice if you're playing hell or gen or behind these boxes. Opponents don't know, right? And you can then play off these two trips when they're storming the site. The longer you're on site and they're still trying to storm it, the more time you're buying for your team because they are still peeking slowly to clear angles. Okay, then if opponents don't have easy ways to nade or kill trips, entry trips with abilities, this is really nice. Hard to shoot because it extends all the way there. So when you're placing this one, make sure you have sight of this area so that you can see where you're going. You want roughly the middle of the box here, and you can see the further right you go, the further in it goes. So you want to go all as far left as possible. And then you're going to get that trip there. Then you got this one here, right there. And it's nice because it covers this, but also covers anyone coming in from A main trying to close this door. Okay, finally we have some trips on this little thing here. So depending on how high you go, it's going to be either up there or here, whatever suits your need best. But again, this is a little bit harder to kill without, if you want to kill this, right, you have to swing out wide and then shoot this, and you're pretty vulnerable at that time. So all of these trips are nice, and you can play one-ways off of these areas. My personal favorite place to play is right here, because that way I have a one-way covering this whole region, and I also have a one-way there, so I can actually kill attackers from both angles. So let's look at those. So one-way here doesn't cover everything, right? Which is why you want to play further back here. And then you got the one way there if you need. Covers everything for yourself. Right, so this left one is the best for this spot. And then you got your one way here. And that one way right there is good for that spot, but it's also good for up here. Let's talk about how to do all these. These two, basically you can put these all along this ridge here and all along this ridge here, and it won't matter where you put it. So there's tons of lineups for these. These ones are forgiving, which is the important part. They can be done quickly. So line up roughly with the middle of that square. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then the bottom left of the black line on the arch. Okay, same thing here. You just line up roughly with the middle of this line and then bottom right of this black line on the arch. And whoa, I've never missed that one before. But there we go. So there you go. Okay, then we'll talk about this one. So you'll notice the trip isn't all the way up, it's slightly further down, and that's important. If it's too far up, you won't get the proper one way. So you just go to the corner here, okay, then you're gonna line up the very middle of your HUD. It's gonna be the eye of your camera. So the circle on your camera, and you wanna line it up right here. So you're gonna, in the middle, both left to right and up and down of this black line here. So it's gonna look like this. Okay.
Cage triggered.
Boom. Wrong one way there. And to show you how it looks from the opponent's side,
Cage triggered.
they don't see anything unless they crouch. Then they can see some feet, but then they're not moving quickly, right? A big advantage there. And then you got the two smokes here, which I already mentioned. So I think that's it. Oh, actually, no. There's one more nice one-way for attackers up here. So the easiest lineup, it's very simple, just to show you what the smoke looks like, is you go close to the right in between these two near the top of the clouds here. It's pretty forgiving. So we got that, and now we can shoot all of this without them seeing us. Okay. But if you're on attack, you don't necessarily want to go up here to place this because then you're vulnerable to anyone already there. So you can do it from down here. You're going to line up with the very middle of this piece of metal here. Basically line up with the middle of that. Okay, then you're going to go slightly to the right of this post here, and you're going to go about that high up. Okay, this one is a little bit harder to do. But as you'll notice, we got it up there and we're getting the same kind of one way. That way you can do it safely. And keep in mind, we're not crouching here. So again, they're roughly that high. This one is easy to mess up. But if you can do it, it's really nice to peek this angle.